Hi, today we will explore the topic of passing by value versus passing by reference in Java. There seems to be some misunderstanding on this subject, so let's make all of this much clearer right now. The first thing we will look at are primitive types such as integers, floats or booleans. Alright, let's first create an integer variable and set it to 5. Let's create a simple method called increment. This method takes an integer as parameter and increment it by 1. Now, let's call this method and pass our integer to it. Okay, what do you think will now be displayed if we print to the console the value of our variable? Well, let's try it. System.out.println. And we can now run it, of course. And we see that our variable still has the value 5. The reason behind this is because Java is passed by a value, meaning that when we give an argument to a method call, what we give is not the reference to our variable. We don't give the variable per se, but a copy of its value. Therefore, when the method makes a local change to the variable, it doesn't affect our original variable. Alright, it's pretty clear for primitive types, but it gets a little more complex for reference types, such as arrays, object, and so on. To see what causes this, let's first create a simple class called dog. This class will have a single attribute, which is an integer called age. And in our main method, let's create a dog object and give its age attribute the value 2. Now, in the same way as we did for our integer, let's create a method that modifies dog object. All the method will do is increment the age attribute by 1. Let's also call it increment, and of course the method must have a dog object parameter. Now, what happens if we call this method and pass it our dog object? Since we saw that Java is passed by value, our object shouldn't be modified, right? Let's try to call the method and print out our dog object age attribute. What we see is that the age attribute's value is now 3, meaning that our object did get modified by the method. And since Java is passed by value, how can it be? Well, the key to understanding this is to understand what values reference types variables hold. You might think that our dog variable holds the data of the object, but that's not entirely correct. In fact, what it truly holds is the address of the object in memory. Now, of course, in use, it's transparent, because when you use the dot operator to retrieve an attribute or method, Java automatically grabs the object that is at the memory location pointed by the variable. Then, it grabs the attribute or method of the object. The only problem is that when we give an object to a method call, the value of the variable is copied, because Java is passed by a value. But as we've said, the value of the variable is an address. Therefore, the address, or memory location, is copied, not the object. And since the variable in the method has a copy of the address of our original object, it can modify it, and these changes will be seen outside of our method. Okay, one more thing to understand is what happens if, in the method, we set our local variable to null. Do you think it will impact our original variable? Well, let's try it. Let's create a nullify method that takes a dog object and set it to null. Now, let's call this method and print the age attribute of our dog object. If the object was set to null, we should get a null pointer exception. Otherwise, we should see the value of the attribute. What we see is that our original variable is not set to null. It actually makes sense because when we set our method local variable to null, what happens is that this variable doesn't point to the memory address of our object anymore. It just points to nothing, basically. and so therefore it can't modify our original object. But our original variable is still intact, because, one more time, Java is pass by value. I really hope I made things clearer. If not, or if you still have questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And of course, if it helped, remember to leave a like and subscribe to this channel to be notified of future Java and programming related videos. Thanks for watching, take care.